Di. How are you? I want to welcome you. Hi, Teresa. What am I making? I'm going to make some fun cards today. So this is my Whatcha Makin Wednesdays. And I've been wanting to do this technique for a while. And last night I was like, tomorrow's the day. And so hopefully you might have seen it before. But I've not done it before. But anyways, so that's what I'm going to do. There's a technique called One Sheet Wonder, and you basically stamp on the whole sheet, and I'll explain that when I flip the camera. But this is a little bit different, so it gives you a different look. But the cards turned out so awesome, and I have a bunch of birthday cards and thank you cards to make, and I thought this is the perfect technique for that. So anyway, hi Holly. If you are new to my channel, make sure you say hi, even if you've been here before. I want everyone to say hi. I love the friendships that are happening on our little chat off to the side. And I feel like we are visiting every day. Oh, cold Iowa. I'm originally from Canada, and my husband is from Illinois originally, so we know what cold is. Although we've been in Arizona a long time, and we keep saying our blood is thinned, so it doesn't take much for us to get cold now. So I love looking at the snow. I just don't want to be in it or shovel it or drive in it. So anyway, so hi, thank you so much for sharing. We have a bunch of everybody. All right, so Teresa and Holly and Stacy and Joy and Lily. Hey, Lily. Oh, Joe, yes. And Anne from London, Ontario. Oh, I miss my family all in Ontario. All right, so let me flip the phone and let me show you what we're going to be using today. We are going to be using artistically inked. Oh yes, we moved to Arizona right after we got married. So we moved 85. All right, so artistically inked. I'm also using Ranunculus Romance, Ornate Thanks. It almost freaked me out because when I'm doing my little I always put the supplies underneath the video. It says the item code on the box, so I put the item code in and it didn't come up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not retired, is it? But it has a new number now, so I had to change the number. And then Create with Friends. So that's what I'm going to be using. Let me get them off the desk so I have a little bit more space going on here. All right, so what I meant when I was talking about a one sheet wonder, and if you are a stamper, you probably have heard of that. And what you do is you basically stamp on a whole sheet of paper, and you're kind of making your own designer series paper, basically. And then you cut it in all sorts of bits and pieces to make a bunch of cards out of it. So I'm going to do it kind of like that, but I'm just going to focus on this area right in the center. So it's good if you're going to do something like this. It's kind of like collage stamping. You want to pick stuff that doesn't necessarily have an up or a down, right? Oh, in Vegas today. It's probably not too bad in Vegas. My in-laws are in Illinois. They're farmers. And my folks are farmers too. All right. So anyway, so let me show you what colors we're using. So I just kind of like put some colors together, and I was like, ooh, I liked how these ones looked. And whenever I find a combo of colors I like, I always write it down. And sometimes I find my color combinations when I'm putting cardstock away from a class, and all the cardstocks kind of jumbled together, and I'll go, oh, those colors look good together. So that's how I get those. And my sister's here. Aloha, Minda. The neighbor's dog came over for a visit again. Oh no. I hope they don't get the kitties. Okay, so Magenta Madness, Pacific Point, Coastal Cabana, and Granny Apple Green are the colors I'm going to be using. So I'm going to get my ink pads all opened up. Let's see. And like I did the other day, I'm going to be placing what I'm going to stamp in that color right on the pad. And that just kind of keeps me from making a mess and inking up in the wrong pad, and it gives me a little bit of desk space. All right. So I'm just placing them around, and then granny apple. So a few of them are going to be used for a couple images, but all right. All right, so like I said, I'm going to focus on the center of my cardstock. So we're going to ink up. I love this artistically stamped set. Oh my gosh. So some of these are in the main catalog and some of them are in the mini catalog. So I'm just going to stamp some of these, and I'm just going to spin my cardstock around. So I don't want you to be looking at it and go, oh, we're making a pattern. We're not. We're just stamping. We're just stamping every which way. Oh, this stamp set is never leaving my house. I will keep it forever. All right. So there's that. So that was Coastal Cabana. Oh, the handmade. Yeah, because you can be your own artist, right? Okay, so now I want to put this pretty flower here. And same thing, I'm focusing on the center of my paper. I also want to keep a little bit of white. I don't want it to be totally inked. All right. And you could not do an identical one if you tried. All right, so now my leaves are going to be the granny apple. So I'm just going to put a leaf here and there. So I'm just focusing towards the center of my page. Okay, so just spin it around. All right, get that out of the way. All right, then I also want to use, now these are from the ranunculus. While I have my pink, I also want to put some of these little tiny ones while I'm at it. Whatever that is. It's kind of like a rose or something. I don't know. All right. Put that out of the way. All right. And then the ranunculus is a great collage kind of stamp. So then I'm going to take my, whatever that is, it's the postage, and I'm just spinning and turning, and then this thing too. So even though these do have like an up and a down, I'm not worried too much about, you know, if they're going to be upside down or not. I'm just going for color. All right, so that looks good. That looks pretty good. All right, so I want to keep the Pacific Point open because that's, I'm still going to be using that. But I'm going to quickly close the pads and get them out of the way. So hi Carol and Candy. Deborah. I love our chats every day. And now I love that we're getting more people chatting, and I feel bad because I sometimes I miss your chat because it goes boop. All right, now before we get any further, I'm also gonna take my dark basic black Stampin' blends, and I want to flick a little bit of splatter around. So basically, this is the marker. I don't usually color with this one because it's so dark, but it's perfect for this. So I'm just going to take the lid off, and I'm just basically going to flick the brush tip, and you can tell it's pretty beat up. But the more beat up it is, the more it flicks good. And I'm flicking it in the lid. And it's just going to send out little flicks of color like that. All right. So super cute. Not a whole lot. I just wanted to have just a little bit. All right. I want to get this ink pad out of the way. Now I'm going to bring my paper cutter over. And I'm going to cut my paper in half both ways. So 4 1/4, and I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. All Aren't these colors so pretty? Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm going to go 4 1/4. Four and a quarter. And get that off of there. 5 1/2. I have all these inked stamps laying everywhere. All right. And then 5 1/2. So I'm just cutting it into quarters, right? And then we're going to trim it again, but I just want to get that initial cut done. So 5 1/2. So paper cutter, you have the dark one, and that's the cutting one, the cutting arm. Can you even see? I'm like, where am I? All right, so we have the cutting one, and then this is the scoring one, the lighter one. So I apologize. I was like, I don't even know if you could see what I was doing. Could you even see what I was doing? Oh my gosh. But what I did was I just cut it 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. Let me scoot up a little bit. All right. So then what I'm going to do, so then I have these fun, you know, cards ready to go, but I want to layer them. So I need to trim them a little bit more. So now I want them to be 3 3/4 by 5. So let's see here, 3 3/4 by 5. It's like hung up on there a little bit. Hold on a minute. So 3 3/4 by 5. So 5. And then 3 3/4. So I'm going to do that to each one. So again, 3 3/4 by 5. 3 3/4. Make sure you're not cutting off the pretty stamped image. So 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to do that to the other two as well. Again, 3 3/4. I say that for you, but I also say that for me, so I don't boo-boo it. All right. And the last one. Now this is just the size that I chose to do. I made the cards very similar, but you could, you know, trim them differently if you want. You wouldn't even need to trim them, right? You could just mount it on a card. But I do want to put a little bit of layering of color. All right. So there we have our cute little pieces. Now I'm done with the paper cutter. Put it back behind me so I don't drop it. All right, so now let's bring our cards over. And I'm also going to be using a photopolymer. So what I like to do, I love rubber. I'm a big rubber person. I mean, that's kind of my go-to. But if the stamp set has a greeting, I prefer a greeting that's photopolymer because then I can see through the card. So I think they both have their place, right? So then we just need to decide. So this has quite a bit of space. So I'm going to go, okay, let's see how thank you will look on here. So I think thank you will look pretty good on here. So I've inked up that pretty good. And now we're going to put thank you right there. Peel it off. So we've got thank you on that one. Then we have this one. So then just kind of look at them, right? All right, so this one's good, but this one would be good this way. So this one is going to say, let's see. I'm just trying to go, which one goes better with this one? Let's see here. This one's going to say celebrate. This one's going to say celebrate. Yes, the colors are amazing. So it's got celebrate. And then it has that little tiny let's. I love anything that has writing and printing. I just love that. So we're going to go let's celebrate. see, what else do we have? So we've got this one. So this one is going to say, I'm like looking around. I'm like, what all did I do? Oh, I want to do another. We're going to do 2 friends. Friends. So we've got friends. And then there's a forever. So isn't that cute? Friends forever. And you could just leave it as friends. You don't even need to put the forever if you didn't want to. But I love putting them together. And you could also have it go forever friends, right? And then the last one. So then you just decide how much room you have, if you need to spin it, you know. So it depends on how big of an area you stamp in this center and when you cut it, right? All right, so let's see. I want to do another celebrate. I have birthday cards to do. So celebrate is perfect. And I'm just going to have it say celebrate. I'm not even going to go celebrate you. I'm just going to go plain celebrate. All right, so we're going to let those dry for a second. While those dry, I'm going to stamp quickly, after I close the ink pads, the inside of my cards. So I just cut 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to stamp them quick. So I'm not going to put any kind of greeting on the inside, but I do want to stamp a little bit on the inside so that it matches the outside. So I'm just going to take my Coastal Cabana. And I don't even need this pad under me anymore. Up, up, up. Get out of there. All right, so Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to grab this flower this time. And I'll do that on all 3 cards, or all 4. See that? I almost stamped it in the magenta. Like that. And I think I'm also going to put, so see how quick this is? It's super quick. Hi, Carol. I know, Lady Di. I'm like, these colors are fun. So whenever you find a color combination, write it down because it is so easy to forget. And then especially if you give the cards away and then you're like, what was that? So a lot of times I'll reference back to a blog post or a video. And I'll go, what was that card? All right. And then I'm going to put the little, whatchamacallit. Oh, but you know what? Hang on a minute. We have how many going this direction? So we have 2 going that direction. So when it's on the inside of the card, I'm going to be a little more specific on the way this cancels out. Not so much this, because those are just decorating the inside. Doesn't matter if it's on the top or the bottom. So I have 2 going up and down and 2 going back and forth. All right. And then you would decorate your envelopes. You know, when you have the stamps all out, get those envelopes decorated while you have all the stuff out, because you don't want to have to drag it all out again. All right, now I'm also going to do the little bit of flicking on the inside too, just a little bit. Doesn't take much. And what's nice is with the alcohol markers, it dries pretty quick. If you could do it with, you know, the water markers as well, the Stampin' Rights. It just takes a little bit longer to dry. And you know me, I love my blend. So see how fast this is going? All right. All right. Flick, flick, flick. All right. So there we've got our pieces. All right. So let's bring our card base over. So I just picked Coastal Cabana for my card base. So this is perfect. If you have a whole bunch of cards you need to make, this is a great technique, and it works for any occasion, right? As long as you, like I said, you want to pick a stamp set that doesn't have, you know, an upside down or a right side down or whatever. So a snowflake one, if you're doing Christmas cards, would work because the snowflakes could go every which way. All right. Or if it's collage and you're just putting color on. All right, so let's see. And then I grabbed some of the colors that I used for the ink. So let's get our pieces going on there. So I'm still using snail. I don't know how much snail I bought. So what I usually do is I go snail, snail, and then I go from one side to the other with the seal. So I'm using up both. Just because the seal is really sticky and sometimes the snail needs a little help, and they're perfect combination. All right, so look how cute. All right, so I'm going to get all those layered up first. And it's funny how the different color that you use makes the color of the feel of the card totally different. Thanks, Rhonda. So yeah, definitely I wrote this combination down. And I just practiced on a piece of paper because sometimes you'll go, oh, that's going to look good together, and then it doesn't. So, all right. Snail, snail. So just in case you have snail at home, that's what I do. That's what I do. And I thought I was all done with it. And then I was like, where did all these other ones come from? And the last one. And then we can decide if we want to put any embellishments. I didn't put any ribbons. But we can figure out if we want to put any kind of embellishments on there. That's why I liked the flicking, because it almost was like an embellishment, right? All right, so let's put the rest of our cards. This one goes like this. So we know that we want a tall innard. There's that one. So we know we want one of these taller ones with that going the right way. But like I said, I didn't worry so much about it on the front, but on the inside where you're going to write your note, I was a little more anal in regards to if that was, you know, the right side or not. So there's the inside of that one. Let's see. And then we got our thank you. But I love this because it, you know, I just grabbed greetings that were photopolymer. So you could pick whatever greetings you have to make these work. Okay, now I need a bottom one. But look how fast I've got these 4 cards done. And what's cool about it is if you had to go somewhere, you could get all of your cardstock stamped. And then you could just take your cutter, or you could just assemble later somewhere else. If you're at a ball game or something. Because it was very fast stamping. If you had to make cards for, say you had to make thank you cards for a teacher, and you know the school colors, that's always a fun card to make too. Because you can pick the colors of the school and make it very custom. But you can whip up, you know, some cards pretty quick this way. Oh, your fast fuse? Yeah. And I believe that even though the seal is called seal, I think it's very related to the fast fuse. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the fast fuse fits in the holder there. All right. And then there's that. So there's the 4 cards. And then we can decide if we want to put any embellishments. But look how pretty they are even without an embellishment, right? Like I was so fast today doing these cards, half the time I wasn't even realizing I was off the screen. All right, so we have so many embellishments. So I grabbed rhinestone basic jewels, and that would just have a little bit of sparkle. Oh, so this would be perfect. Now don't throw your fast use holder away before trying it. I also have the holiday gems. The butterflies I thought would be cute, just to have a butterfly here and there. The iridescent rhinestones, the classic matte dots. But I think I'm going to use a brushed butterfly only because they lay flat. And these cards are easy to mail because there is not a ribbon, right? There's no ribbon, a bulky ribbon. So I kind of want to, you know, make that stay that way. So I'm just going to put a little butterfly, and I'm going to put my butterfly down here near the greeting. How does that look? And then it's a little more noticeable, and then it doesn't get lost in here, right? And I'm going to put this one at the end of that friends. So then it almost looks like that butterfly wrote friends. Cool, right? Look at that. Doesn't it look like the butterfly wrote that friends? Because I put his right there. And hey, Anna. All right, so let's see. So where will we put this one? So we'll just do the same thing. So I will. So these are the ones I did earlier. So I'll have to add the butterflies. So see what I mean? They just, you could never make, oh, and that's what I forgot. Look it. I totally forgot while I was stamping these was this one. This is also from the ranunculus. So let me show you the difference. So see, this one has this, whatever that is. It's like a recipe or something, or an invoice. I don't know what it is, but anyways, but isn't that fun? Oh yes, I love that the butterflies are flat. I do add a little something to the card, and you could probably color them with your blends. I have not tried. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm gonna grab my dark magenta. They're a little sharp on the edge, so you want to be careful because you don't want to damage. Like usually I will use the brush end when I color, you know, but it's kind of sharp, so I don't want to damage it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the marker side, and that's what I usually color with. And I'm just going to carefully add some color. Let's see how this looks. And I'm just coloring on the top. So you're still going to see the side. But let's see. But that made us have this magenta butterfly. And then I just on it so it'll dry. So see, now we have a cute little magenta butterfly. So that's cute. So just like don't, you know, be rough if you're coloring a bunch of them. Don't go, oh, I'm just going to go fast, because I think, you know, they are a little sharp. I think it might hurt your tip. So, but yeah, if you wanted to have a little magenta butterfly, make sure it's good and dry. Where's that friends? Let's put it on this one. I don't want it to be wet. So let's put it on here. There. So look at, that's cute, right? With the colored little, and when you flick, I have little flicks of the black everywhere. But anyways. Oh, Anna, this is my favorite color. Don't look at it too good because, oh my gosh, I need to redo them. But this is my Unicorn Lovely. It's my go-to color. and it's a gel polish. So I just put it under the cooker and I'm good to go in like 10 minutes. So, so thank you. Oh, hey, Janice. Can't wait to watch on the replay. Oh, I know, right? I was just like, oh, but that does make the butterfly, you know, be a little more special, right? And you could probably even put some dots on them. Let's see. We're going to mess this card up, right? Let's see if I take my black. So there. But you want it to be good and dry before you touch it. So there, I put just some little dots. It's really hard to see, though. It's really hard to see. But anyways, you can almost see yourself, you know. All right. So that wasn't too bad for a Whatcha Makin Wednesdays. Does anyone have trouble with a cutter that will only cut? No, I haven't got an issue. If you ever have an issue with anything you get, you want to contact your demonstrator and let them know. If you're a demonstrator, then you want to holler at Stampin' Up. But no, I have the newer cutter and I haven't had any issue with it. I can go up and down, up and down. So just make sure, you know, you contact your demonstrator or Stampin' Up. The link for my February card class, Deborah. I sent an email out. Can you private message me your email address and then I can send it to you privately? Because I had somebody also contact me through my store for it as well. And then so I did send an email to everybody that took the January class. I just sent them like a just a quick email, just like, oh, just in case you missed it or whatever. So if you will, that would be great. Thanks, Joe, because I don't want you to miss that class for sure. And hey, Patty, because, you know, supplies are limited on the little things. So anyways, all right, so I'm going to stop blabbing and then Deborah, I'll look for your email. All right. And if you have any questions at all, make sure you let me know. I will get the supply list. It'll be down in the, whatchamacallit, not directions. I don't even know what's down below the video. I guess just whatever. It'll be down there. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. Thursdays, I don't do live. So I will, we'll see you Friday for my Dies Shorts at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. You fill my heart, and you make me so happy when we get to see each other. Well, I get to chat with you anyways, every week. So have a great night. Oh, the description box. There you go. Oh, Anna, I swear, my noggin. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you Friday. All right. Bye for now.